All right, so for those just joining us, we're gonna start with, a pose that is designed for getting rid of blah. Bad energy when you're really annoyed or frustrated with a situation or someone. And it's actually energetically a good thing to do in the morning anyway, just because it gets you going. So it's helpful to have a blanket for your knees to sit on. I'll demonstrate it, we'll do it 3 times and then we'll laugh.
You're recording this, right?
All right, so here's how it works, is you take your block, and this is whatever's annoying you. And if be a person, in terms of a situation, can keep whatever you just need to get out.
It's really tall, so. He's a big one, it's 3, so we're gonna
Three
go.
blocks. So imagine, so it goes like this, I'll show you first, and I'll do it 3 times. So this situation is in front of you, you have an image of that situation, and then you kind of muster up all of your energy, your force to come into lion's pose. So from here, lion's pose, your tongue sticks out, your eyes bug out, you make lion claws, so it goes like this. So 3 times. You ready?
Oh, that's so much better than the yelling into a pillow thing.
Body. So now you can put your blocks back to the top of your head. I'm planning on doing that on my bed.
Right.
I'm gonna be doing it about 6 o'clock in the morning, I will really piss the person off. It's 6:30 in the morning, the thing's off.
Your side, on your breath, just inhale up, exhale down. Do your nose. Like a pendulum. Next time you come up, hold up, hook your thumbs, take a deep breath in, hold it out at the top of your inhale. And then exhale audible through your mouth. Then onto your hands and knees. You can keep your blanket there if your knees are sensitive and prefer to be on a blanket. Take your wrists right under your shoulders. And spread your fingers, make those lion claws with your hands through your knuckle pads there. And then take your right foot back with your toe tucked under. Root your hands down and lift your left knee off the floor. Engage your low belly and just let your thigh rotate a little side to side. Your knee float a little right and left. You'll make a little circle with your knee, keep your low belly engaged. And then lower that leg down. Take the right leg down, take the left leg back. Reach the heel back. Keep the lion claw hands down, lift your right knee up. And again, just let your thigh rotate a little side to side, keep your belly engaged. And good, and then come back down to all 4s, take your knees wide, big toes touch. Press back into child pose, let your forearms rest, let your forehead rest, find your breath. And find a deep and low belly in breath as you breathe in. And complete exhale as you breathe out. And then inhale, come back up to all 4s. Take your right foot forward. And watch your blocks actually for this one. So you can use your blocks and not use your blocks. You're going to take your left toe, tuck it under, reach the heel back. And rotate your hips to the right. And then come back to the center. So it's a little different than a usual lunge. You're rotating as much as you can to the right. And that left hip bone is going right and then back to center. Do that 3, 4 more times. Just as you turn, feel into especially your left hip, but your total pelvis is rotating to the right. Good, and come back to the center. Now take that left knee down, be light on the fingertips, tuck the left toes under, shift your hips forward and lift up. And take a deep in breath here, drawing your arm balance back. And then exhale, shift your hips back with your toes up. Anchor the heel down, draw the heel, press it down, draw it back towards you. And then inhale, find length in your spine, and exhale, fold it. Inhale, come on back up. Read that right foot one more time. This time, take your hands to your hips, take the elbows back, shift your hips forward. Release the arms by your side. On the in breath, take your arms up. Good. Exhale, take your arm bones back. Lift the heart up on the in breath. And then exhale, roll the hands down. And take your right foot back. Left foot forward. Tuck your right toes under, reach the heel back, and again, rotate the whole pelvis to your left. And back to the center, do that 4 more times. Feel into the rotation of your hip joint as you do. And just notice one side compared to the other. It's a little different, but the whole pelvis is turning to the left. And do that 1 more time. Come back to center, take the right knee down now, take the fingertips light on the block. And inhale the belly. Good, exhale, uncurl the toes, lift the front toes up, press the heel down, draw it slightly back so you're not hyperextending. And then inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, fold it. So bring that left foot flat now. Inhale, come on up, take your hands to your hips. Pull the elbows back. Inhale, take the arms out. Stand up like you need on the front foot and then shift the hips forward, drop all the way up through the collarbones. Good, exhale, lower the hands down. Shift the hips back 1 more time, this side toes up, holding. And then exhale, lower that. Take that leg back, take your blocks to the top of your head. Go ahead and switch the blanket out of the way. And then come back onto all fours, walk your hands to the top of your mat. Take your pinkies as wide as your mat, and then find those lion claw hands again. Feel the knuckle pads press. And then take your arm bones towards your leg bones, take the crown of your head forward. You just feel the sides of your neck lengthen. Tuck your toes with your knees bent. Keep that length in the sides of your neck. So your ears just line up with your upper arms. Lift your knees up and come into downward dog with your knees bent. So lion claw hands press the floor away from you and stretch all the way through the armpits. Feel the full length of your spine first. And then bend your right knee a whole bunch and reach the left heel back. And then bend the left knee and reach the right heel back. Reach both heels back, but check in with the length in your spine. And see if you need to bend the knees to get your spine as long as possible. And take your hips higher up. Take the chest way back towards your thighs. Take 1 more in breath here. 1 more soft exhale, and then inhale your gaze forward. Exhale, walk your feet to your hands. You take your heels out a little bit, feet at least hip distance apart, and then hold the elbows and let your torso open. Again, checking in with your body, bend your knees if your low back feels rounded. Then take your hands to your hips, take the elbows back, inhale, come all the way up, bring your arms overhead, hook your thumbs here, reach the fingers up, root the heels down. Feel the length in your whole spine here. Exhale, release the hands back by your side. Glance at your feet for a moment. Line them up so the little toe sides of the feet are parallel. And then lift your toes, feel the inner ball of your foot by your big toe ball press, and then stretch all the way to the little toe side. And then relax the toes, so really know where the ball of the foot is right now. On the floor, take your hands, palms back. So rising up onto the ball of the foot, inhale, come on up. Notice if your toes are good, then just notice it the first time. And then exhale, come back down. Find the ball of your foot again. This time as you lift up, see can you do so without gripping the toes, they'll touch, but they don't need a depth or hold on. And then come back down. Now ask yourself when your ankle is rotating in, when you do that, so one more time, stretch the toes. And then inhale, come on up, on the ball of the foot again. Toes are just sort of lightly touch for balance. Yeah, you see if you can lift the inner ankles up. I know it's a challenge. And then exhale, come back down. So we're gonna do some more good feet and strength and balance today. Blocks in front of you now. Keep your arms up with your palms facing your thumbs back. Feel your heels press here. Lift up through the pinky fingers out and then exhale, fold in, bring your hands on the blocks, fold all the way in, let your elbows bend, let your head drop. And then find the ball in the heel again, and inhale, come into a flat back here. Arm bones towards your leg bones, forehead towards the floor. Good, exhale, fold in, bend your knees, bring your hands flat, step back into plank pose, start with your hips a little higher than your shoulders. With the lion claw hands, lift your low belly, and then lower the hips. And find your breath here, rock forward on the tips of your toes, and then rock back, keeping the low belly engaged. Come forward, and then back. And then forward and from your toes or your knees, lower down to the floor. Anchor the toenail side of the feet, thumbs mid-chest, curl the elbows in, inhale, come up into cobra. Good, exhale, come back down. And find your handprint really firmly here, take your elbows closer together. Keep the elbows in like that, and inhale, come up again. Good, exhale and come back down. Tuck your toes, come back to hands and knees. And then come back into downward facing dog. Again, finding not only the length in your spine, but also the ball of your foot. So a little further back on the ball of the foot until the toes get light. Push the floor away with the hands, engage your arms so the armpits are lifting up to the ceiling. Take one more long in breath here. And softening out there. And then inhale, look forward, exhale, walk your feet to your hands. Take your hands palm to the back of your hips. Plus palms and calves together, pull the elbows forward, let your head drop down. Take a look at your feet here, so just notice, do your ankles fall in, or do your toes grip? Can you spread the toes? Lightly touching them to the floor and lift your ankles and feel the ball on the heel press. Good, take your hands to your hips, take the elbows back, inhale. And all the way up. Exhale, take your thumbs to the sternum. Find a steady focal point at eye level. And then shifting all your weight onto your right foot. So feel heel and ball of the foot press. Take your left knee to your chest. Flex the foot and lift the spine up. And then lower that side down. Back. So find the heel and the ball on the right foot. And keep your eye on a steady focal point. Flex the foot as you draw the knee out. And just notice as you hold. Are you balanced in the inner, the outer? And just tap back in and tap out. Oops, you go ahead and come down and back to the top of your mat, arms by the side. Stretch the toes, find the heel and balls that you again. And then inhale, come in. Good, exhale, folding. And take your hands to the front of your shins now. Inhale, come into a flat back here. Exhale, fold in. Take your right foot back, come back into a lunge. You know, grab your blocks, actually grab your blocks, even if you don't need it for a lunge, we use them in a moment anyway by the side. So from the back heel to the crown of the head, and just find right here. And then take that right arm and extend it so your arm is by your ear. And from the back heel to the pinky finger side of the hand lengthen. Take a long in breath in. Exhale, lower the right hand, lower the right knee. Take the arm bones back, inhale, take the arms up. To Anjaneyasana, kneeling lunge. Good, exhale, fold in, set your hips up to the side. Step that left foot back and then somewhat close with your feet together. Lift your low belly up. Find a long in-breath here. Feel the hands really connect on the out-breath. And then from your low belly, inhale, lift up with your feet together, come into down dog. Reaching so far back, under the heels, the toes get light. So if your toes can't get light, shorten your step a little bit. So the feet a little closer to your hands. Find your center here, hands pressing down the knee. And then inhale, take your left foot, this one. Sorry, right foot. Just hit right foot back, right foot high and stack. Kick your right heel to your bum and spin the knee this way. And then inhale, right toe high to the sky. Exhale, take your right knee to your chest. And hold in a hovering lunge with your right knee to your chest. Then set that right foot forward. Take your left foot so the arch lines up with your right heel. And take your right hand next to your ankle on your block. So, and then come into a lunge here. Side lunge, and then curl the head. Press into your back heel, inhale, reach that left arm long way in the plunge again. Then exhale, take that left hand to your hip. Straighten like you want to take both hands to your hips. So you're still in this position with your heel in line with your arch. Your back heel angled a little towards the back edge of your mat. Here you go. Turn your hips towards your front foot. And then lift your heel off the floor. And then bend your knee. So knee over the ankle. Heel is up. Straighten with the heel down. We've got a couple more times. The heel comes up. And then down. Just notice when the heel comes up, the thigh has a little more mobility to turn out. The back heel press. And then this time come down. Rotate the thigh out. Root the heel down. And reach that right arm forward again. And then you're going to take that left arm long by it. Connect both heels really firmly to the floor. And then to the side, that back foot really into the floor. Good, and then exhale, lower that left hand down, lift the left heel up and back into a lunge. And step that right foot back and back into the plank pose. Engage your low belly. And then rock forward from the toes. And from your toes or your knees, lower down. Anchor the toenail side of the feet, thumbs mid-chest, inhale, elbows go way in from the cobra. Tailbone lifting. Good, and then exhale. And let the toes come back to all fours. And then come back into downward facing dog. And spin your heels out here, stretch your toes, feel, again, the ball of the foot, the toes get light. Take a long breath. And then exhale, walk your feet to your hands. Crisscross your forearms so your hands are on your outer shins. Just lift and stretch the toes, root the heels, and then fold inward. And feel your shins hugging in, your thighs spinning out. Good, and then exhale, take your hands to your hips, take the elbows back. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, thumbs to your sternum again. Watch your breath. And a steady gaze. And find your feet. Inner and outer edges. Balls of the feet and the heels. Release the hands, anchor the right foot. And then take your left knee in. And then take the right arm up, flex the left foot. And then see if you can take the arm and the leg to the side. Just come back in, if you come back up, back the way that you can. And then step in. And come back to your breath, your steady gaze. And then anchor left and right. And take the left arm up, so flexing the right foot helps. And then take both to the side. And then come back the way that you can. Good, lower that side down. And back to your hands at the heart. And the heels connected, the ball of the feet connected. And release the arms, inhale, take the arms in. And do exhale to the heart center, fold in. Hands to the front of your shins, inhale, flat back. Good, exhale, fold in, take your left foot back. You draw that heart forward, find length here from the inner heel to the front of your back. And then exhale, lower that left knee down, take your hands to your hips, twirl the elbows back. Inhale, take the arms up. Good, exhale, arms back. And then release the hands, lift your left knee up. And step that right foot back, come back into plank pose with your feet together, your fingers, pinky fingers as wide as your mouth. Engage your low belly and then take your hips just a little below your shoulders. Find your lion claw hands, find your stable belly, and find your breath. And then from your low belly, lift up, come back into down dog with your feet together. Find lightness in your toes. So again, half step forward if your toes aren't light. Reach the top of your thighs back. Good, and then inhale, take that left toe, high the skin. Exhale, take your left heel to your bum, spin the knee to the ceiling, and feet under that right arm. Inhale, left toe, high the skin. Exhale, take that left knee to your chest. Over here with your breath. And then set that left foot all the way through. And take your hand on the block by the ankle, take your right arch in line with your left heel, take your right hand in. And then drop the top of the thigh. Inhale, take that right arm long by your ear. Feel length from the back, feel through the pinky fingers out of the hand. Feel the heels and balls of both feet really connect, and the toes stretch and be light. And take one more in breath here. Exhale, take that top into your hip, root through the heels, come all the way back up. Good, then lift your heel. And that front foot and bend your knee. So again, and then come back up. And do that 3 more times. As you do, notice the thigh rotating out. You get a little more mobility, but it challenges your balance. Mobility in the hip joint when you heel lifts. But it challenges your balance. Also making you a calf pain. And just kind of, yeah. Yep, and then next time you come down, anchor the heel down, if you're standing up on it, take that left hand back to your block. Inhale, reach that right arm, right here. And find your breath here. Take a long breath. And then do both heels as you exhale. And then take that right hand down, lift your right heel up. And send your block to the side, step back into plank pose. Hold steady here with your breath, low belly engaged, take a long breath. And then drop the knees wide and take your big toes together. Come back into child pose, slide your arms back so your forearms are parallel and as wide as your mat. Let your forehead rest, bend your belly. Okay. Lift your head up, walk your hands forward, press your palms down, lift your armpits up, feel long stretch from the heel of your hands, armpits lifting. You should feel length in the sides of your ribs as you reach the hips, maybe a little further back. Good, and then inhale, come back up to all fours, tuck your toes, come back into downward facing dog. Spin your heels a little bit out, take a look at your arches. So see that they're lifting and then stretch back a little further on the ball of the foot. Let your toes just lightly touch the floor. And find a moment in breath. And reach back as you exhale. Inhale, gaze forward, exhale, walk your feet to your heels. Hip distance again, crisscross your forearms, hug your shins in, spin your upper inner thighs back in line. And then bring your hands to your hips, the elbows back, inhale, come all the way up. Press your palms together and reach all of the fingers in. And then exhale, take your hands to your head. One more time, find your gaze. Stretch the balls between the heels. And release the hands, anchor your right foot, take your left toe forward and rotate that thigh up. And then bring your foot to your thigh or your shin, pressing them together, that'll help you with balance. And then return your hands to the ground. Find your breath, if you're stable, you can try taking the arms up. Sometimes I like to lift the thumbs because I like the feel of the lift. And then I separate the palms, but feels good to you. Notice your foot, notice the toe grip, just notice what is happening there. And then release the hands down. Find that left heel and ball of the foot. So look at your foot. If your heel's in, it'll make your hips go out. So just line your foot up parallel to the edge of your mat. And then take that other foot, which is your right one, forward. And bring the foot to your thigh or your calf. And then take the hands to the heart. So hug everything into the midline. And then you have your balance, take the arms up, and you can try hooking the thumbs to find that upward lifting traction feel. And you can separate them to the skin of the palms and fingers side. Take your hands to your hips, take your right foot forward, your left foot back. Take your block now by the calf, turn it in a tall position. And then spin your back heel out. Spin your front foot out just a little. Lift the toes on both feet, find your heels, stretch your toes. And then relax them down, turn your hips towards the front foot and lift that front foot. And see, can you, on the front foot, can you just lift the big toe? Not any other toes and not the ball of the foot, just the big toe. This is a little education for foot. Lower body of the cheekbones and the floor. Bring the big toe down and then see, can you lift the four toes and keep the big toe in the ball of the foot. And then bring those toes down. Connect the ball and heel both feet and then rotate the pelvis forward, reach that arm forward and take it lightly to your block. So you have a feel of lifting up off the block. And then you can decide why it be taller or lower position, you scoop your spine, your rib cage pulling your space, and then inhale the top end. And find your breath here. And then see if you can notice the subtleties of pressing the big toe ball the foot down. And at the same time, reaching that right hip back. So connect point of the big toe ball around in the outer side of the right hip. And make a long line there. Take a even breath. Exhale, press through both heels.
And then inhale, come all the way up, take your palms together over your head, reach out. And then exhale, thumbs to your sternum. And take your arms back. Inhale, take the arms out. And then exhale, bend your knee, come into warrior two. Find the ball of your foot, and at first lift your heel. And see, lifting your heel, can you drop that right thigh bone a little bit? And then you drop the heel down and stand up on it, like you and feel the chest lift, take your gaze over the front fingers. Find the fullness of your in-breath. Lifting the spine, connecting this with your out-breath. And then split the right palm up, exhale, bring the left hand down. Inhale, take the right arm up into the reverse one. Good, and then exhale, roll the hands back into some angle. Taking your hand by the ankle once again. And through both heels, reaching through that top. And then exhale, take the hand, your hip as you sit down. And set that left foot forward. And then step your right foot back. Again, spinning the heel a little angled back more than the little towards the side of the foot. And then turning this foot out just a little. Good. Stretch the toes there. And then see if you can lift just the big toe on this foot, keeping the ball of your foot on the floor. Just the big toe up. And then press the big toe down and lift the other toes. You can do that without the foot sickling in its and then bring that one down, press into the heels and the ball of the feet. Turn your pelvis towards the front foot. Reach the arm forward, find that space between your hip and your rib cage, and then lightly on your head on the block with your calf. And then connect the ball, inner ball of your foot, left foot to the outer left hip, and take that left hip back. Coil the heart up. Inhale, take the right arm up, come into Trikonasana triangle pose. So as you hold the pose and find your breath, find your feet as well. The heels, the balls of both feet, the outer edge of that back foot especially. You take that left hip back more, which requires also turning the ribs up more towards the ceiling to keep that length in your spine. Take one more in breath here. Exhale, press into the heels, inhale, come all the way up, bring your arms overhead. And take the palms up, find your center here. And then exhale, hands to your heart. And find your center, inhale, down. Exhale, reach the arms out, come into warrior two, knee pointing the same way as your toes, anchoring into that back heel. And then lift your front heel up and see if that allows you to drop that right or left top of his elbow down. Good, and drop the heel down, stand up on the back of your knee. And look over the front fingers. Find your back heel. Rising the spine on the in-breath. Connecting this with the heels and dropping up that thigh bone and then breath. Then spin the left palm. Exhale, bring your right hand down, inhale, find your breath. Good, then exhale, put the hands back down into side angle. Reaching the arm long by your knees. And exhale, reach your hip. Straighten the legs and come out. Starting back to forward. Give your legs a little shake. And then take your feet wide and put your blocks in front. You want a wide edge of that. So you start with your feet, so your feet go like that, your ankles are under your wrists. And then take your hands to your hips, spin your heels a little bit more out. Toes a little more in, and then stretch your toes. And then take your hands in front of your thighs with your thumbs in. And rotate the thighs in as you press the thumbs back. And take your hands lightly to the tops. Good. Inhale, finding length here.
And let you stretch your toes one more time, see if you can lightly drop the toes and keep the inner ankles lifted. And then exhale, fold in. You can keep your hands on the blocks where they are. Or you can walk them back between your feet, let your head drop completely. Mhm. So do keep your knees straight, so keep your hands as high as you need to. And watch that they don't snap back, so there's a little bit of water, I think, in these, just lifting the kneecaps up. Shift your hips forward. There you go. Feel the heels press, feel the upper inner thighs reach back. And then inhale, come back into a flat back. And then spin your right foot out. Like 45 degrees. You take a block over to the right side, with both hands in the corner of the block. And then bend your knee in the direction of your toes. Press your heels down. Push your back hip. So how you get your front knee. So rotate the thigh out in the direction of your toes. There you go. Yeah. And then depending on your reach, you might keep your hands in the blocks, you might take your hands to the floor. But keep the thigh rotating out. Let your body just fold inward. Keep both heels connected. Front thigh out, out, out. And then inhale, come back up, bring your hands back to the box, the next to the parallel again. Inhale, find a flat back here. And then spin the left toe up. And then walk your block over to that side. So as you bend the knee, just watch and see that it goes the same way as your toes. If you need to turn the foot out more to feel that, you can do that. And then let your torso fold inward, keep your hands to the floor or keep them on the block. So your hands are close to your body, close to your front leg, your bent leg. And then as you exhale your breath, just allow your hips to drop in. Good, and walk your hands back. Make your feet parallel. Once again, take your hand onto the blocks. Inhale, find that length in your spine. This time as you exhale, fold in. Take your hands to the outer ankles. Roll the elbows forward, let your head drop down. And feel the heels press the upper inner thighs spin back. So imagine the string of your kneecaps lifting your thigh muscles up towards your hips. And then spinning back the upper inner thighs. And then inhale, come back into a flat back here. Take your hands to your hips, take the elbows back. Step your feet in, get in motion. And then go ahead and take your short end of your mat to a wall. And take it to a wall where you have, like behind me, I've got plenty of space for my legs to step out, which they're gonna do on that wall. So, yeah, it's fun. And have your blankets nearby as well. I'm gonna start out with the, well, there, should I go to the? No, you're right. You might just put it around a little bit. So we have to do some blankets in a minute, but for now, just have them off to the side. You know, have to see, so I'm show you something with your toes, so, I mean, getting that. So take one foot. And take it like that. Take your hands in the front of your shin, so you can sit with your spine tall. And then lift and stretch your toes, stick the ball of your foot on the floor. And then from this position, so you can lift just the big toe. So if anything else lifts, cheat. Take your fingers on the other toes, press down. This has a whole lot to do with balance. Let's do the other poses that I think we're gonna work on through June. And bring the big toe down and then lift the other 4 toes up. Again, if you need to hold the big toe down, you can cheat. So you can kind of it's a really neurological thing. So kind of how, and then try it again, all 4 toes down, big toes up. So you can train yourself to learn how to do this, and cheating is fine until you get it. And then bring that big toe down and then the other toes up. So here's daily practice when you relax that foot, switch your feet, because when you can't balance, when balance has a whole lot to do with all of the 26 muscles in your feet. So when balance is an issue, this is really hard to do. So training yourself to do it will improve your balance. Okay, the big toe down, and the other toes up. And then do it again for a side. So even if you can do it on one foot, but not at all, it's totally normal. We are asymmetrical beings from the get-go. And then right toe, or big toe down and the toes up. Notice, like, I've been getting a sort of an arch on that side. And my big toe is rooted, so just kind of notice that there's work to do in the feet. And then go ahead and give your feet a rest. Keep your knees behind you, keep your feet a little wider than your hips. And then just start to rotate your knee, thigh bones one side and then the other. Bring your awareness into your hip joint, the place where that rotation is coming from, as you do. And I'm going to go all the way to one side. We'll say to the left, just so that I say the right thing. So knees go left, press the big toe ball of your right foot, the side of the knees before, look to the side of your left foot. Walk your hands a little closer to you. So you're like standing up on the sides of your feet. And then turn towards the right. So as you do that, the sides of the feet press down and you turn your torso towards the right. You should have an awareness of your hips, especially the inside of that right hip bone. Yeah, and then with the other one, turn to the left, take your right hand to the outside of your left knee, take your left hand a little more behind you now. Press these two together, so I'll like take that foot closer to you so you can get the. Yeah. And then turn like this, right hip lift, turn to the left. So we'll do from the pelvis a whole lot. You keep turning there. Back to the feet. All right. You can go a little side to side. And feel into that rotation of your hips. And then come all the way to the right. And bring the sides of the feet. Walking your legs a little closer and lift up. And first turn left. When we come back to the center, turn to the right, left hand to the outside of your right knee. So your feet should be plenty wide apart. And then let the left sitting bone lift and turn from the hips. Rotate here. And then you also have to come back to the center. Give your legs a little shake again. Okay, now from the blanket. So you're going to take one blanket. In it half full. And put it away from the wall, maybe 2 fist distance, 1 or 2, depending on the length of your spine, shorter, a little closer. This one is optional. You might want it for your head, in which case the rolled edge, you just have a half full, and the rolled edge would reach towards the wall as well. So you're going to come into legs up the wall post. This blanket, you're going to, once you get there, I'll come around and help. Once you get there, you want your tailbone floating off of this blanket. Yeah, so your tailbone's just up. It feels like your pelvis is dropping a little bit. And your arms go here. So start sitting sideways and then shimmy your legs around. And then if you need help scooching close to the wall, I'll put something that's in.
Yeah.
And then if you like, oh, sorry, if you like a support under your neck, you can put a support there. As you come into the pose, find a symmetrical way of being here. So that you're. So you're back. So that your spine and the space between your feet is one straight line. Oh, you had it right the other way.
Really high.
Is that?
It felt really high.
Let me check it. So take the ball of your big toe, the inside ball of your big toe together, stretch your toes, and take the ball of your foot a little higher than the heel. Now, take it back a little closer to the wall. So look at like atmosphere. Yeah. One more bit, but imagine, yeah. So stretching the toes, take the ball of your inner ball of your foot together, yeah. And draw the little toe side of your foot down to the side, so if I put a block on your feet, it would balance. Good. Notice when you lift the big toe ball on the side of the foot up, a little more activity in the inner thighs. And also notice if your ankles are going away from each other, draw them towards each other. Then from your center, evenly take your legs out wide like a V. And take your time and go slow. It doesn't have to be as wide as you can possibly go. Wide enough that you feel a stretch. And then press your heels into the wall. And rotate your inner thighs more towards the wall. You can either try taking your hands on the hip crease with your thumbs in. And pressing, yeah, like that. And pressing your inner thighs a little more towards the wall. And find your breath in your low belly. Just notice what's going on in your hips. And then slowly bring your legs back together. Now bring them together in a way that you can keep your legs elevated straight up and feet together, but in a restful way. So don't worry about stretching your toes here. And take your arms out to the side, like the goal pose, hands up. Let your shoulders drop back. Drop your gaze towards your chest. Either hold a soft gaze or let your eyes close. And come into awareness of your belly as you breathe. As you breathe in through your nose, just feel your low belly swell in every direction. Sideways towards the ceiling. It might even be helpful to imagine that you have a balloon and that squeezing your low belly, and as you inhale your breath, you're just aware of it expanding in every direction. And then as you exhale, be aware of the full diaphragm, the lower diaphragm, just receding towards the back of your spine. Let your awareness land in that belly space. Feel the fullness of the in-breath. Using the out-breath, you can try to bring the soles of your feet together as you use that. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Take the soles of your feet on the wall. Press the feet into the wall. Yeah, and then draw your tailbone towards the ceiling. Expand breath in your low belly again. And then roll your knees to the side to come on back up. I'm just gonna roll the knees to the side. You can move your blanket towards the wall. And but come onto your back without putting on any blankets or moment. And take your knees back into the chest. Drop your chin towards the chest. And extend your right leg out long with your heel on the floor, toes to the ceiling. And take one deep breath, feeling the length from your inner right heel through the crown of your head. As you exhale, feel the whole back of your body connect to the floor. And then take your left hand to the left, take that left knee all the way to the right. Turn your gaze to the left, let the left shoulder come up if it likes. But do stretch the fingers away from the shoulder. Find your breath here. And inhale, come back up, take that left knee in your chest. And take the right knee in your chest. And then extend the left leg out long. And stretching the heel away from the hip, toes to the ceiling, find a long in breath from the inner left heel through the crown of your head. As you exhale, feel the whole back of your body connect. And then take your right hand to the right and take that right knee all the way over to your left. And turn your gaze to look towards the right hand. And just noticing your breath. And breath in your body on the in-breath, how your body responds to your breath on the out-breath. Now come back up, take your right knee and left knee into the chest again. Drop your chin towards your chest. And then exhale, bring your feet flat on the floor. And then take whatever support you like for Shavasana. You fold under your head or a little under your knees. An eye pillow. As you settle into your final resting pose, just do so in a way that your body feels symmetrically aligned. Your arms and legs equidistant from the center line of your body. Your head supported in such a way that you can drop the chin comfortably towards your chest without straining the neck. Allow your back teeth to part. And rest the tongue behind your front teeth. And turn your awareness to your breath. And just noticing the fullness of each in-breath. And your body responding to each out-breath. Experience each inhalation as an invitation to draw your awareness in. Each exhalation is an invitation to let go, to release. anything that prevents you from being aware in this present moment. Opening with each in breath. Releasing when you drop out. Slowly begin to bring a hint of awareness back to your body. Noticing the sensations in the soles of your feet, in palms of your hands. Gently bring one hand to rest in the chest, one hand to rest in the abdomen. And feeling the breath in your body responding to your breath.